When we talk about the legend that is Wilt Chamberlain, a lot of divisive topics tend to come up, and one of the most notable ones is how he played an insane amount of minutes. Most famously was his 48.5 minutes per game average in 1962. That's more minutes than there are in a regulation game. This was possible because of the overtime games that he played that season. Other than an instance where he had been ejected by the referee, he played every single minute of the 1961-62 season. I feel like I have an objective view on this topic. For one, obviously Wilt is going to have a statistical advantage by playing the entirety of basketball games. Maybe not in terms of efficiency, but certainly in terms of totals and averages. On the other hand, I do think it's worth giving Wilt credit for having the stamina and conditioning to last all 48 minutes, because if every star could do it while remaining extremely effective, then every superstar would. But you can't expect a man to last if he can't get in the game in the first place, which is why today's video is brought to you by Manscaped.com. Manscaped is trusted by more than 4 million men worldwide for providing premium tools and formulations designed specifically for below-the-waist grooming and hygiene. As the leader in men's grooming, Manscaped is going beyond the groin with a brand new lineup of men's products, the Manscaped Ultra Premium Collection. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe, literally. This awesome new package includes the 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner, the Manscaped body wash with refined cologne scent, the hydrating body spray, and the aluminum-free stick deodorant. On top of all of this, they include this free gift, the new moisturizing lip balm. Manscaped is always taking great care of me, and now, especially with the Ultra Premium Collection, they'll take good care of you too. Go to Manscaped.com and use my promo code ARNETT for 20% off your order plus free international shipping. So hypothetically, what if the greatest players of all time played all 48 minutes just like Wilt Chamberlain did? Assuming they had the stamina to endure that, what kind of numbers and achievements would have been possible? Well, let's dig into it, starting by looking at some of the best seasons of my other 8 GOAT candidates if they played all 48. Let's start with the face of Showtime, Magic Johnson. One of his best individual seasons was his MVP campaign in 1989, and under 48 minutes, that translates to a remarkable 28.8 points, 16.4 assists, and 10.1 rebounds on 50.9% shooting. Again, under the stress of the extra load of minutes, maybe his efficiency would suffer a bit, but at the very least, this is his per 48 minutes numbers. How about Larry Bird? One of his best seasons was in 1988, which translates to 36.8 points, 11.4 rebounds, and 7.6 assists on 50-40-90 percentages. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a beast in 1971, and his numbers are 37.9 points, 19 rebounds, and 4 assists on 57.7% shooting. Tim Duncan had his historic run in 2003, and he's averaging north of 28 points, nearly 16 rebounds, and 5 assists on 51.3% shooting. How about Kobe's revered 05-06 season? In this scenario, he's putting up over 41 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists on 45% shooting. The ultimate winner, Bill Russell, had a legendary start to his career in 1958, which is now nearly 21 points, 28.4 rebounds, which is higher than anything Wilt Chamberlain ever did, and 3.7 assists on 44.2% shooting. LeBron James's best year is arguably his 2012-13 MVP campaign, where his Heat won 33 straight games, and now his numbers are 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists on 56.5% shooting. Michael Jordan has a few seasons to choose from, but arguably his statistical best was in 1987, which is now 44.5 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 5.5 assists on 48.2% shooting. This is the list of my GOAT candidates. Which of their individual seasons stand out the most? The funny thing is, although these are the players that are most often seen as the greatest, there is arguably much stronger stat lines, especially in recent years. Luka Doncic, in only his second season, had a per 48 stat line of 41 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists on 46.3% shooting. That makes Oscar Robertson's triple-double season look cute by comparison. Another example is James Harden's 18-19 season with the Rockets, which was a stat line of an insane 47.2 points, 9.8 assists, and 8.7 rebounds on 47.2% shooting. And finally, Giannis's historic 2020 season with 46 points, 21 rebounds, and 9 assists on 55.3% shooting. When you look at this per 48-minute stat line from Giannis, we begin to understand how the numbers Wilt Chamberlain put up in his prime were actually possible. What's interesting is that even if you prorate every season to 48 minutes, Wilt Chamberlain's 1962 season still is the highest scoring season of NBA history. What's also interesting is how 4 out of the top 6 spots all happen to be within the last 4 seasons. As far as rebounds, Bill Russell now takes the top spot. Between Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, they own the top 17 seasons of NBA history. The top 25 spots are all owned by players from the 1960s, which really tells you how inflated the rebounding numbers were during that era. Concerning assists per game, John Stockton owns the top 4 spots, with some truly absurd numbers. Based on this metric, he's putting up a 2020 game with assists nearly every night. These are the top seasons in steals per game, with the extremely underrated Alvin Robertson taking 3 out of the top 5 spots on the list. I'm definitely much overdue on making his own solo video. For blocks per game, the top 4 spots of the list are owned by the 7'7" Manute Bol and the 7'4" Mark Eaton, with blocks averages that seemed only possible if your name was Wilt Chamberlain. But as you can see, some video game numbers actually become attainable when the great players play all 48 minutes. Much of what this video confirms is what I already suspected. A lot of what Wilt Chamberlain accomplished isn't actually as ridiculous as it initially sounded. But the reason why we rarely see players put up numbers like he did is because they never give themselves the opportunity to in the first place because they have limited minutes. Although Wilt Chamberlain is the only player to average 48 minutes per game, this minutes inflation advantage isn't pertaining to him alone. Most superstars of his era were given a workload that would be seen as preposterous by today's standards. In the current NBA, not a single player averages at least 39 minutes per game. 60 years ago, 7 superstar players averaged north of 40 minutes per game. And keep in mind, that was at a time when the NBA had less than 1/3 of the players that it has in the league today. My takeaway from this video is that there is obviously an advantage to playing all 48 minutes. But with that being said, there's a reason why only one player has ever done it before. And maybe the fact that Wilt Chamberlain was a fantastic track athlete is part of the reason why he was able to manage such a heavy workload. It's hard to say for sure. So now it's your turn. If there was any player other than Wilt Chamberlain who was asked to play all 48 minutes, which superstar do you think would have handled that the best? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, shout out to Randall for suggesting this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.